Under the new Biden administration in the United States, it's looking likely that the government's investment in promoting electric cars will increase, both in terms of funds to expand EV charging infrastructure, but also in terms of tax incentives for those who purchase a new car. Right now, electric car customers can claim up to $7,500 in federal tax credits for buying their EV, as long as the company that made their car has not made and sold more than 200,000 cars in the US. But the United Auto Workers Union said on Friday that it's working to lobby the US government to change eligibility for tax credits to only allow US-made cars to qualify. It's a response to a recent announcement from General Motors that it will be building a new electric car manufacturing plant in Mexico, where Ford already builds its Mustang Mach-E. The UAW is worried that other automakers will follow suit. The irony here, Tesla, which has a high American-made content for its US-made cars, is notoriously anti-union. Ford's launched a registration website for people who are interested in the new ETransit, and the company is reporting that more than 450 commercial clients across a wide range of fields have already expressed their intent to buy an ETransit for their company. Along with the website, Ford has announced pricing for the ETransit, which will range from just over $43,000 to nearly $53,000. That is a serious chunk of change above the petrol-powered Ford Transit van, which starts at about $25,000. But between incentives and reduced running costs and maintenance costs, don't forget the onboard power to run tools, there's definitely a case to be made for the electric model. Ford claims the van's range of 126 miles, 203 kilometres, is based on telematics data showing work vans only travel about 74 miles in a given day. There's no release date yet, but Ford says we should start seeing early production model ETransit vans on work sites later this summer. A modified Volkswagen ID.4 First Edition, much like the review car we've had this week, has completed the National Off-Road Racing Association Mexican 1000 race in Baja. The vehicle, which had a stock drivetrain and battery pack, was largely driven by stunt driver and rally driver Tanner Faust, who has a brand ambassador relationship with the company. Modifications to the ID.4 include a roll cage, off-road suspension, and a stripped-out racing interior, as well as changes to the radiator and installation of hefty steel skid pads to protect the undercarriage. Of 90 vehicles that entered the race, the modified ID.4 was one of 64 that completed all stages, which are between 33 and 167 miles long. Charging was mostly accomplished via a biofuel-powered portable 50-kilowatt generator, though there were some instances where the ID.4 was flat-towed by a chase vehicle, allowing it to be charged via regenerative braking. According to Volkswagen, the ID.4 survived its Baja adventure and is in remarkably good shape. Battery tech has come a really long way in a short period of time, and the pace of development is only getting faster. The current industry standard for EVs, of course, is the lithium-ion battery, but researchers and observers within the space think it might not be for much longer. Increasingly, automakers and battery companies are setting their sights on solid-state batteries, which offer both increased safety and better performance. Eager to be the first to market with solid-state EVs, manufacturers have been ramping up investments in new battery tech companies. We've just seen this happen with Ford and BMW investing $130 million into startup Solid Power, which is aiming to deliver non-flammable batteries that have 50% more energy density than the batteries on the market today. While this is not a technology that's likely to appear in time for the next model year or probably the year after that, the hope is that Solid Power will be supplying cells to manufacturers for production EVs by the end of this decade. YouTube channel Engineering Explained has done a deep dive into how Tesla is figuring the 0 to 60 miles per hour acceleration numbers for its cars, and it's found that those ways those numbers are listed on the company's website is somewhat misleading. The explanation, which utilises a whole load of figures, formulas and whiteboard space, has to do with what's known as rollout, which is the distance a car travels at a drag strip before the clock for calculating speed actually starts. On its performance models, Tesla subtracts rollout from its acceleration figures, giving more of a 6 to 60 time rather than a 0 to 60 time. Moreover, the detail isn't noted on the main page of a given model, only in a footnote on the features page. Interestingly, Tesla doesn't subtract rollout from its lower spec variants, which, when comparing variants of a given model, makes the performance gap between those versions look larger than it likely is. And if you don't subtract rollout, the Model S Plaid Plus's sub 2 seconds to 60 figures just don't add up. Uber has a goal of transitioning all electric operations in London by 2025 and North America by 2030. To achieve this mission, Uber is going to have to figure out how to get enough EVs into the hands of its drivers. But up until now, we honestly weren't sure how it was planning to accomplish this task. But now we do. Uber has teamed up with British EV manufacturer Arrival to design and manufacture a new electric vehicle that can be operated as part of the Uber fleet. The company is hoping to deliver the new EV to drivers in 2023. In the meantime, Arrival is receiving feedback from Uber drivers about what features they want to see designed into the new car. Additionally, the company has raised £135 million to assist its London drivers to transition to electric vehicles. This initiative will hopefully help reduce the urban pollution in London, so it's good to see companies working hard to make the future greener.